Creating a business doesn't always have to be something that nobody else have done before or super innovative. It can be something that you really care about, something that you love doing, and that you just think, how can I help someone else learn about this and create a business about that. Remember that who you are right now and what you know is the right thing. And we will give you the tools, the coaching, and everything you need to get started. Because these 3 days that are upcoming now is a kickoff for a longer period of 6 months where you will run your own company.
Be the Future is a great opportunity for young girls from Sweden, Latvia and Estonia to get to know each other, create an international network and try their business ideas. During 6 months, these young girls will get to know each other, try their business ideas and build an international network.
During Be the Future, I have learned how to create and run a business and how to work better in a group and how to work with entrepreneurship.
Be the Future has inspired me to start my own business.
I would recommend you to participate in Be the Future because it gives you the chance to develop yourself and your entrepreneurship.
So if you are a young girl in Sweden, Latvia or Estonia that want to make new friends, try new things out and learn more about businesses, you should apply to Be the Future.
Welcome to the second edition of Be the Future. What we have just seen is what happened last year, and we are more than thrilled to kick off a whole new edition for Be the Future. I am Mairi, I will be your host today, and let's get started. So Be the Future is, as you could also see from the video, a 6-month program for young female people from Estonia, Latvia and Sweden. And this is brought to us by the financing of Interreg, Central Baltic and European Union funding. It is organized by the Tartu Center for Creative Industries, also Green Tech Cluster and Emacs. And this kickoff event is brought to you by Garage 48. And in order to understand better what this whole kickoff event is about, what is the project about, I would love to welcome here on the stage next to me Karin Sepp, who is from the Tartu Center of Creative Industries.
Thank you. Hi. My name is Karin Sepp, and I'm one of the project managers of the Be the Future program. I have already seen all the Estonians, but I haven't met you guys in Sweden and Latvia, so welcome. And I would also like to say hello to our coaches and speakers who are here with us today. So some words about the project as well. So the ultimate goal of the Be the Future project is to show you guys entrepreneurship as one of the career options. But we have other goals as well. Perhaps the most important one is to help you sell at least one item by the end of this project. So take this as a focus point while you are creating your action plan and carrying it out. But in addition to that, we also love to give you lots of experience, like how to solve problems, how to work in a team, how to overcome obstacles, how to come up with the best strategies for your company, and so on and so on. Be bold, be curious, ask questions. You have coaches everywhere who are willing to help you during this kickoff event and during this program. Ask them questions, discuss your ideas with them. They will gladly help you and take the maximum out of this project. So thank you, guys. And yoo-hoo, be curious, be bold, and good luck.
All right, as Karin mentioned, and as you could also see from the video in the beginning, so we are actually currently in three countries. We are here in Tartu, in Estonia. There are participants gathered in Sweden, and there are participants also in Latvia, all at this event that we are now kicking off. So now I would like to give the floor to Mia Garland from Emacs. So Mia, hi, how is it going in Sweden?
Hi, really good to see you. Well, it's going great in Sweden. Here we have 32 young entrepreneurs who has arrived in Örebro in Sweden, and they are really excited to get into creating a business and to be a part of Be the Future. So we're one of the project partners in this project, and when we 2 years ago came up with the idea, how can we create an area, a network of young entrepreneurs in Sweden, Estonia, and Latvia. And how can we help them to create a value for themselves and from others? It was then that Be the Future started. And I want to show you something. Just greetings here from the Be the Project partners. We want, as I said, we want you to create a value for yourself and for others. And help is actually one of these. Maybe you have seen these before. This is the Sustainable Development Goals. And we would like you all, right at the beginning of this project when we kick off, to have this as a ground to actually see how can we create ideas from these problems and these challenges that we have all around us. Here we have gender equality, but we have others as well. Good health and well-being, and this is actually something that is going to be a part of your business plan and your action plan. How can we connect the SDGs to our idea? Okay, so that is one thing I wanted to give you. And of course, I will also, as Karin said, welcome you all to Be the Future. We're really, really excited to get to know you all. And Mari, I would just say good luck from us in Sweden to you. And we're really looking forward to see what you have created in Estonia. Hi.
All right. It is really good to hear that everything is going well and is under control there in Sweden. And it's really great that you pointed out also the Sustainable Development Goals and the gender equality part. And I think this focus on the girls is really, really important. But we still have another country to jump into, and let's see what is going on in Latvia. So, hi Latvia. Can we hear your points?
We also are going very good. I'm Anette Grunberger. I'm representing Green and Smart Technology Cluster, and we are one of the project partners. We are very excited to be here, and when I interview all this cycle participants, I actually was very surprised that some of the girls mentioned that previous cycle participants encouraged them to participate on this cycle. So we already have a good reputation here in Latvia, and we hope that the next cycle we have even more participants. One more thing, what I wanted to mention, that I, Karin and Mia, we will be your contact persons. So you can contact us anytime. If you have any problems, you can contact us, and we will be together with you all these 6 months. And as I also mentioned to Karin and Mia, we here in Latvia, we are a little bit jealous because we are not together in one place, but on this weekend we will focus on work. So thank you.
All right, thank you. But that's the thing, that even if we are here all together, we will be also working all together. So the question is, I have forgotten to show the slide. So also we have here Garage 48, who is helping to organize this kickoff event. And Garage 48 is an organization based in Estonia that is all about hackathons and organizing this type of events where you go kind of from zero to something awesome in 48 hours, basically in a weekend, what we are also here for. And over the last 11 years, Garage 48 has been to 65 cities in 33 countries. And what is really cool is that also for Garage, the empowering women hackathon series has been actually really, really popular. And we have done those events already in Estonia, in Afghanistan, in Kenya, and in Ukraine. And I were really, really happy and excited to see that in addition to the empowering women who are adults, we are also now able to empower younger females in this new age group for us, in addition to Estonia, also in Latvia and Sweden. So because I personally, and together with Garage, we believe that the future is in the hands of young people, and we're really, really happy to give our contribution also to this opportunity to empower all of you. So probably what's on your mind is like, okay, we're here, what do we have to do? What is this weekend about? Let me tell you. There's a lot that's going to happen, but we believe that you are able to achieve everything in your teams and with a good teamwork. So first of all, what we need to figure out is like, what are the ideas that you would like to be working on? And that is also something that was mentioned before, that you're actually entering a 6-month program. We know that a lot of you actually have ideas that you would like to work on, and this is something that we will be working on today, as in you get the chance to present your thought of what would you like to work on, and then around that we're gonna form teams. So other people can be, hey, this is a cool idea, I wanna join your team. Then that is the plan for today. Then tomorrow we will be working on a thing called Business Model Canvas. It's a tool that people use in order, when they have an idea that they would want to start to develop into a business, to understand, does this business have any potential or any business model, or who are the users and customers of it. So we will go through it step by step with the help of the coaches. I will introduce them also shortly. And this will give you an overview of like, what is the problem you're solving, what is the solution you're offering, who are the customers, etc., etc. Then next to that, you will be working on building an action plan, because it's a 6-month program. And as Karin mentioned, then the goal is for you to make at least one sale. And I am more than confident that you are gonna all achieve that goal over the upcoming months. So the idea of the action plan work is to then put down concrete steps, what you should be taking next in order to develop your idea further into something more. Then, of course, if we're talking about this kind of like, hacking format, then you can't get away from this event without pitching your idea. Pitching, in other words, is presenting your idea to others in a concise manner. You have 3 minutes on Sunday to do that, and therefore also tomorrow on Saturday, we will give you guidelines on how to present your presentation, what to keep in mind for that, and then you also have to, of course, draft the text, what you will be talking about and all that. And then, if that's not all, I know it's already like, oh my God, tomorrow has only, limited hours. There's just one more task we have for you, is because you will be working in international teams, for you also to do like a team photo as a creative exercise of thinking, how can we from different countries over internet come together and make a really creative and cool group team photo as well. So this is pretty much it. After you have done all that, you have already come a really, really long way for your idea that you will be working on for the upcoming 6 months. I hope it doesn't sound too complex because it's actually pretty easy. And I also encourage you to not worry or feel too stressed. It's all gonna come step by step. Today we're gonna focus on the ideas and team formation and getting to know your team. And tomorrow we will start working on more on the idea itself. Then, just to clarify also a little bit what is going on today. So in a short while, we're gonna also get into inspirational speakers. We have 3 of them, 1 from each country. Then at 3:30 also, I have to say that these times are in the Estonian time. So if you are in Sweden, you have to mentally calculate minus 1 hour. But after a break, we're gonna get actually into pitching our ideas, talking about them, what is in your mind. So I know there are many of you who have ideas, so don't feel afraid or discouraged or thinking that my idea is lame, it sucks. It does not. I read through all of them and they are great, so we would love to hear all of them. And then we're gonna form teams so you can start working. And for the teams also, as I said, they're gonna be international. They will be minimum 4 people, maximum 5 people, and maximum it can have 2 people from the same country. So unfortunately, you can't learn, international teamwork just if you are a team with the same people from your own country. So that's why also all the teams are gonna be international, and you're gonna eventually be very, very grateful for that. And at 5:30 Estonian time, 4:30 Swedish time, we're gonna get into working with teams, getting to know the teams, and working on the ideas, and the coaches are also around to answer your questions and concerns and give you a hand. So this is the plan for today. The plan for tomorrow, we will tell you tomorrow morning. So we have the first checkpoint in the morning at 10, and then we will let you know kind of like hourly, in a way, like where do you have to be, what do you have to do, and all that. But I can tell you, don't worry about it now. Focus on today. Tomorrow is still far. Then we have a couple of tools that we will use to make this event happen. As in, we are in 3 different countries and in many different locations. So first of all, we're using WorksUp, and all of you have gotten an invite to join it. I hope you have all done it. So WorksUp is the place where you will see the agenda. Actually, already, you can check it now, what happens tomorrow if you want. Then all the live streams. So if we have any kind of workshop sessions, then all these things happen also in WorksUp. Then there's a general chat channel if you are having any general questions, you want to chat about something, then there is a chat channel for that. And then there are the team breakout rooms where when you actually have the team form, then you will be working there in WorksUp as well. But the team channels are not open yet because we don't know what the teams are going to be, so don't search for them yet. And what is also important to mention about WorksUp, I'm sure you very tech-savvy young people will find your way. But if you click in the agenda, for example, for this concrete live stream, then there's also a Q&A function. So, for example, if we're gonna if we're gonna have our speakers coming up soon, then this is also the place where you can ask them questions, and then I can take them and ask them to the speakers. And then it's the same for the sessions of tomorrow, that if you have any questions about them, then you can ask them directly in the session Q&A box. Then we can't do everything only with one tool. We have another one, which is Zoom. And in Zoom, what we will be doing is, first of all, the ideas pitching that starts at 3:30. So all the participants are invited to join the Zoom call. And then also in the same Zoom call, we're gonna do the team formation. And when we get to that moment, we will explain you exactly how it's gonna happen. But let me give you a hint. We're gonna use breakout rooms, as you might have guessed. So there's the Zoom link is needed for that. Then the checkpoints that we're gonna have 2. One is tomorrow morning, and then another one is in the evening. They also are in Zoom, so a team lead or with the whole team, you can then come to that Zoom link that is also in the agenda. And once we get to Sunday, and it's the final, kind of like the finals to present what was the work that you have done over the weekend, then that is also happening on Zoom, because you need to present your work, and having Zoom for that is very handy. And as you might also know, in addition to that, we also have a WhatsApp group in case there are any kind of urgent things, or just, you know, pictures to send about your cats, or how you're working with your team, or whatever fun things that are going on, and questions as well. So there are many ways to reach us. And if you're here, like for example here physically in the location, then you can reach me, you can reach Karin, there's also Kadri here, and then if you're in Sweden, there's Mia, and then in Latvia, then you use whatever channel you want to reach us. All right, all the channels talk. Then we have provided for us, gathered you the best ladies of the planet to coach you during this event. We have 9 of them for you who are going to be available for you to support you in your process. So 3 ladies you already saw, Karin, Mia, and Anette. They will be 3 of the coaches as well over the weekend and today, of course. Then in addition to them, we have Marine, Liis, and Hanna-Liis, who are also gonna be supporting you. They have all also their own businesses, different skill sets, from design to business knowledge to, you know, making physical products out of textile, fashion. I know there are a lot of fashion interested people here. So they are also around. And in addition to that, we also have Johanna, Felicia, and Kaisa joining us. Also, surprise, surprise, they are here to support you. So definitely, as also Karin mentioned in the beginning, don't be afraid to use the help of the coaches. We are not supposed to know all the answers in the world alone by ourselves. We're all learning, you know, how this life thing is going about. So the coaches are also there to help you to make sense of your idea, to fulfill the tasks, to make sense of like what are the next steps we should take, who is our customer, do we have a business model, all these type of things. So don't hesitate. Of course, challenge yourself as a team to, you know, try to figure out things yourself as well, but don't hesitate to actually help them, because the goal of coaches is also to help you to get from point A to point B quicker, faster. Maybe they know some shortcuts. Maybe they can guide you in some right direction that will save you time. So coaches are here for you. And then we are actually getting into the speakers we have prepared for you. 3 extremely empowering and inspirational women, because we're here all women, so we decided that there are gonna be no men invited to this event to speak, because we want women to empower other women. And we have 3 really inspiring women for you to tell their story of their businesses. First of all, we have Merit Valtsalu, who is the co-founder and CEO of Single Earth. It's an Estonian startup which has put itself in a mission of saving the deforestation and the planet from all the carbon dioxide. So Merit, are you with us? I would like to give you the floor. How are you?
I am fine. Thank you so much for having me here, and very excited to tell you more about what we do and how we actually got here. So the journey to today, basically. So very excited to be here. So let's see, I have a few slides prepared for you, but I would actually like to mostly focus on maybe giving you some of the knowledge that is probably not presented in a regular startup demos or pitches. So kind of like share the experience of going through all these events, accelerators, and everything that we've been doing that has led us to the point where we are today. So a fastly growing startup. So let's see if I can get the slides up somehow. Let's see. Will somebody help me do that, or should I put them on myself?
You can use screen share, Merit.
Okay, then I will just use that.
And while Merit is putting up screen share, then I would also encourage everybody who's watching the stream, you ask questions in WorksUp to Merit, so then I can ask her. It's a great opportunity. And also, probably Merit wants to tell the story as well, but I need to tell you the spoiler alert as well, that actually Merit with her startup got started in a Garage 48 hackathon, pretty much almost in the same situation like you are in, that she just had an idea, she went to an event, and now she is leading like a really fast growing startup. But I'm sure Merit is gonna tell all the details about it.
Yes, so Garage 48 is actually the place where it all started for us. So I hope you can see my slides now. And basically it all started from, just as you said, from a Garage 48 hackathon. The specific hackathon that we went to was called The Future of Wood. It was in 2019, so 2 years ago in October actually. We went to the hackathon. We went there with the thought of the entire hackathon was based around the concept of how can we create more value to wood. And by wood, most of the other teams there were thinking about wood as raw material. So basically there were teams creating like this carry-on summer cottages and wooden sauna doorknobs and all kinds of crazy stuff, and building these things there. Which was really, really cool. But then there was us, and we were kind of trying to convince people, but there's also value in having wood or this timber still growing in the forest as trees. And that was kind of like a new concept 2 years ago. So we started brainstorming, like, how can we assign value to intact nature so that landowners would have the opportunity to earn money by having trees where they are, and that they don't necessarily have to extract raw material only from the natural resources to be able to earn money. So it started from a very local problem. We have a lot of intensive forestry happening here in Estonia. So me and my co-founder, we just tried to figure out what would be a systematic change, how to fix that. And by systematic change, we were trying to figure out like what is the underlying reason and what is the big change that we need to create to be able to not just protect one particular forest or make a small impact, but what is the reason that we haven't been able to systematically start protecting nature? And then we got to the same point that I mentioned earlier. The landowners today can only earn money by cutting down forests. So until we continue paying landowners only for producing timber from forests, then this is basically what we get. So this is the only way they can earn money. And if that is the problem, well, it doesn't have to stop there. We definitely need to fix that. So this is basically what we started to brainstorm in this 48-hour hackathon. And then we quite soon realized that there are actually already business models kind of there that could be applied to this use case. So based on these carbon offset schemes and knowing that forests, as they grow, they do absorb carbon, that why don't we just connect those two? Like maybe there's a way how we can start financing nature conservation by selling carbon instruments, so that somebody who creates carbon emissions would start paying the landowners for absorbing that. And then we realized that it is not just Estonia, it's not just forests, it's actually all kinds of land use and all over the world. So deforestation is driven by the same missing business models. Wetlands are being destroyed for the same reason. So it's actually happening all over the world and for the same reasons. And then what we set out to do was to change that. So how can we make nature the investment of the future? How can we turn nature the new gold? And to do that, we started basically brainstorming these different ideas. So we realized that it's not going to be one app that is going to somehow solve all of these problems. It's not. It is actually bigger than that, and it requires a lot of big paradigm shifts. And it took us a long time to actually figure these things out. So when we started in the hackathon, we got as far as understanding that, yes, we can potentially connect landowners and companies. And this part is still there. But the problem is bigger and the solutions need to be a lot bigger to actually make a huge impact. So it actually took us basically 2 years to figure out like what are the big paradigm shifts that we need to create and how to do that. So I think this is like a good stopping pause for a second to highlight the fact that even if you go to the hackathon, then don't expect to be able to figure out everything through these 48 hours. I think it's important to get to the core of the issue and try to solve a very simple way of that, or a very simplistic part of that, because obviously the more complex topics that you are trying to solve, the longer it will actually take to figure all these different puzzle pieces out. So for us, it took 2 years to understand the 3 big steps that we need to take to save the world, aka to integrate nature protection into the economy. So first of all, we realized that we need to make nature the new gold. And like by comparing things that aren't connected or making connections in some of the parts that are currently missing might be a solution for very many problems. So for us, it was understanding that nature is not connected to the economy. And this is why like it's only like a one-way connection. Economy is only driving nature destruction, but it's never giving anything back to nature. So we started figuring out what are the other raw materials that have been used in a similar way. How else are humans using nature or other raw materials? And realized that gold is also a raw material, so maybe there's something for us to learn from that. How can we start using nature as a financial instrument as gold has been used previously? And the second step is that, okay, if we're able to figure out how to do that, so we find a way how to monetize nature similarly as gold is monetized today, but how much of that is there on this planet? How can we be able to ever quantify it? And this is how we understood that there's a huge knowledge missing in the world that would describe how nature works. Like there are thousands of satellites orbiting around the Earth, but nobody has ever created a digital representation of the world's nature and how it works ever before. So this is the step 2 that we need to take. Like we can't start turning nature into the new gold if we don't know how much of that there is on this world. So we started building the digital twin of the world's nature, and I will dive deeper into each of these steps in a minute, but just to give you a brief overview. And then the third step is that if we know what to do, we figure out how to make nature the new gold, we know how much of this new gold there is on this planet, then how can we make the market work? And how can we make the market work in a way that it's actually fair to all these different players on the market? And these are the 3 steps that we figured that we need to solve. Then to go back to the very beginning, so me and my co-founder Andrus, we started this company in 2019. So today we still have 2 members who joined us during the Garage 48 hackathon. One of them was actually on board with us already before the hackathon. So 4 people are still at Single Earth who were there from day 1 or even day 0. So I'm the co-founder and CEO and an ex-Pipedrive, and my co-founder Andrus is the CTO, and he was one of the people behind who came up with the idea that Estonia should have an e-government system. So I think one of the big questions you need to ask yourself is what are the people that you want to work with? Like, how can you understand if the team that you have is enough? How can you find the best team for yourself? So in terms of building the actual founding team and actually founding the company later on, I think that's a separate question. We didn't focus on that during the hackathon at all. We had actually a very big team. I think it was a team of 8 or 9 people or something like that. And most of them didn't eventually end up joining the company or the team later on. But some of them did, and I think it's a fantastic opportunity to find cool people to work with. I think one of the key things is to have people in the team that you enjoy being with. So you have to have a very good like this interpersonal match with them. But I think it's also wise to look for people who are different from you. Because like if you surround yourself with people who think like you, who make decisions like you do, then you probably are not going to be able to figure out these different solutions to the things in a new way. So I think like for us, the main thing that we're constantly trying to challenge ourselves is that are we still thinking inside the box? Like we don't have to limit ourselves with regulations or the standards that have been set to the market. If we understand that the problem that we're solving has not been solved by today's tools, then why do we try to use the same tools to solve it again? So it kind of sounds stupid, but I think that's a common mistake that everybody or a lot of companies do. They still pick the same tools and expect for a different outcome. It's not going to happen. So I think like being bold and thinking outside the box are the main things that I would recommend everybody to do. Then the third big thing that I would suggest everybody during the hackathon, but also afterwards, is networking with all of the people possible. Like you never know how any connection can help you progress with your team, with the idea further on. For us, some of the key things that helped us to get from the hackathon team to an actual company were the different accelerators who believed in us and who kind of helped us to take this idea further and form this into a proper business idea. So right after the Garage 48 hackathon, we went to one of the hackathon or the accelerators organized by the Cleantech Estonia. So we went there. So that, like, in addition to providing us with the financial help to survive, they also helped us to just keep brainstorming on the idea further. And I think this is the key, that you never think that you have the idea ready, but you always constantly try to see if there are any improvements that you can make. So for the next year, we actually went through 3 different incubators and accelerators that all kind of helped us to survive and pushed us to think about this idea and make and refine it even more. Until 2020, when we fundraised our first pre-seed round. So we were financed by a Finnish VC Icebreaker and Ragnar Sass, who is one of the founders of Pipedrive. So and after kind of like teaming up with them, I think we kind of had like this new like breath of fresh air coming to our team, because like we had been going around these same ideas for a year up to that time. And once they joined us, they started pushing us to think even bigger. And I think that was like has been the key to our success, that we never stop thinking and we never stop trying to figure out even better and crazier ideas, how to make it a success, how to make it even more impactful. So I think that was like one of the key things. So having the network around you to push you even further. And then this year in 2021, we fundraised again from Equity Ventures from Sweden. And also another Pipedrive founder, Martin Henk, joined the gang. And I think this has just given us a huge opportunity to just basically, conquer the world with this type of a setup. And also when talking to these investors and everybody, I would just highlight that every single time it's about the people. Like even if you have like investors, you have teams, you have coaches, you have mentors, everybody you have around you, try to find people you actually enjoy working with, because like the times are going to probably be tough at times, and you want to surround yourself with the people who you actually trust and enjoy being around with. So today we're a team of 32 people. And we're going to grow to at least 60 people by the end of the year. So we are growing super fast, and it has become a really, really cool journey for us. But to tell you a bit more about what we do, so going back to these big conceptual changes and how we actually use technology to achieve that. But first of all, I think like one of the key things here to highlight again is that don't focus too much on the product, focus on the solution and focus on the change that you need to create. So for us, it's making nature the new gold. And to understand what that actually means, we literally started comparing what does gold have that nature doesn't? Why can we finance or value gold for more than just raw material, and why can't we do the same with nature? So we compared these two and realized that they are actually similar in very many ways, except for the fact that gold is liquid, but nature is not. And again, this is not something that should stop like an innovator or a startup trying to solve a problem. If you find something that is not working like that today, then challenge yourself. How can you change it? How can we turn the nature into a liquid asset class? Because gold obviously has already been through that. So let's go through the same process and do the same for nature. And how we do that is by turning carbon and biodiversity into digital goods. So the one thing we realized that in order for nature to have value in this world, it has to have financial value, because as soon as people understand that there's money in it, they become more attracted to this type of solutions. So we started basically using technology to tokenize the ecological value of nature, the ecological value that we want to protect. So every time 100 kilograms of CO2 is captured in biodiverse nature, we emit one token. And this token can be used to compensate for one's footprint, but it can also be traded as an investment instrument. And this is the part that we didn't have in the story in the garage event, or actually in the first year at all. So we didn't want to have this trading part because it's kind of sounded like a dodgy crypto business that we didn't want to deal with. Until we realized that this is actually very important for our business case, because if we want to start paying landowners for protecting nature today, we need to increase the demand, we need to inflate it. And this is why having an investor layer there actually makes a lot of sense. So be ready to rethink the things you've been thinking about all the time. So for a full year, we were saying that we're not making it tradable, until we decided that actually we need to make it tradable. So, and then step two, how can we build the digital twin of the world's nature to describe how much of this nature there is on this world? And for that, we're using satellite data, big data analysis, and machine learning. So all of this cool technology we put together to build global carbon and biodiversity models to describe how nature works. And based on that, this is how we basically create those tokens. So this is the model that will tell us that now 100 kilograms of CO2 has been captured, nature is biodiverse, please emit this one token. And this is actually a crucial part of making this market accessible for all landowners. Because as I mentioned earlier, there are carbon offset schemes and projects already happening in this world, but we kind of understood that, well, they haven't obviously made the impact that they were supposed to make, because nature is still being destroyed, and we haven't also fixed the climate crisis with that. So we started looking into the processes and how can we improve that to make that impact that was planned initially. And realized that one of the bottlenecks of the market is that the entrance to the market is so complicated for landowners that they never actually do that. So that it would require them to go through a manual certification procedure that costs them 10,000 euros and more and takes them more than 4 months, usually up to 12 months and even more to process. So even though the business models are technically there, nobody has access to them, and it doesn't make financially sense to use these business models. And this is where the digital twin that we're building is useful. So by that, we can make these markets accessible because we have already pre-estimated and pre-certified everything around the world. So hacking all these issues is one of the core things. And I think that the main big last point that I want to make is that whatever you do, whatever the topic is that you're working on, ask yourself the question, why now? Why is today the best time to start building a company like this? Why should other team members join the team today? Why should investors start investing in this company today? So for us, it was like a mix of different changes that we're seeing happening. How economy is being transformed towards natural capital. There are big institutional investors buying land because they understand that nature is going to increase in value. We also see that theoretically the world is looking for ways to connect nature to the economy by having like these different reports that tie these two worlds together. And then we see that there's a crypto markets that is booming. Like there are like these traders, investors spending huge amounts of money into buying and trading with this crypto token. So how can we use some of that money to protect nature? And then, of course, we have countries that are struggling to meet climate and biodiversity goals. So part of that could be that they haven't engaged with the local landowners. So if you don't talk to them, then you can't ever possibly create this big change. So our goal is to be the first practical implementation of a paradigm shift towards a sustainable economy that starts supporting the protection of nature. And obviously we need to do it now because we still have nature around us to save. So this is the story of Single Earth. And in terms of like being a female founder today, I think it has never been a better time for that. Not only is it like accessible equally as it is for all male founders or all founders, but I think like there's a lot of change happening. Investors are looking for diverse teams, investing specifically in impact-focused startups led by diverse teams. So I think like there is nothing to be afraid of. There is like nothing bad is going to happen to you there. So people are actually welcoming female, and all founders will welcome hands, especially those that are trying to create an impact that is not just useful for the business, but actually for the common good. So thank you, and I wish you all good luck.
All right, let's do a round of applause to Merit. Thank you so much. I had like a question, and I wanted to ask you like, okay, so why, what would be your encouraging words to all the participants we have here, but your last 3 sentences gave it all away. So I would maybe just ask you for a really quick question, so we can move on to the next speaker as well. But what keeps you, motivated and passionate about this topic to keep going and, jump over the hurdles that are on your way?
That's a very good question. I think like having done previously 2 startups or founded 2 startups, I think the main thing is that do whatever you actually care about. Like there are so many things that you can do as a startup to make money, but if this doesn't align with your values or what you're actually passionate about, then you're probably not going to have the motivation to go through all these hurdles. So for me, it's like as soon as I started like trying to figure out how to save nature, which is like the biggest topic of my life, like how I've been like super passionate about this topic for forever. So for me, there's like no going back. Once I started doing this, there's no way that I can say that now it doesn't work out, I'm just going to give up. That's not an opportunity. We need to save the nature somehow, and I'm going to figure it out one way or the other.
Awesome, really, really cool. Thank you, Merit. We will move on to the next speaker, which is Anda Penka from Fermentful, from Latvia. And I would say that it's very much resonates with what Merit was saying, that it's like asking the question why the things are as they are, and seeing that they could be also done differently and in a better way. So Anda, the floor is yours.
Hello. Do you hear me well? And
yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, and I would like to share my screen as well.
Please do. And also I encourage participants to ask questions on workshop, and then I hope we will have a moment to ask you also a question in the end before your time is up.
So do you hear me well, and do you see my screen as well? Yeah.
Yes, we can.
All is good. So my name is Anda, and I am a co-founder of food tech startup Fermentful, and we produce a fermented functional drink made from green buckwheat. Well, there is a problem. I can't move my slide. Yes, everything is fine now. Our mission as a company is to help people live healthy lives mentally and physically while doing good to the planet. So, and before I'm moving further with my experience story, I wanted to tell you that I'm super happy to be here and share this story. And also, this isn't a regular thing for me to speak in front of such a beautiful and a big audience. So, and I'm even more grateful for that, that I can share Fermentful story with those 2% of people who step out of their comfort zone and want to experience more. So, when I was little, I wanted to be a shoe designer because my mom wore heels and it inspired me a lot. And even now, I think that a good pair of shoes, heels especially, is the most powerful accessory for a female. And so I encourage you to keep your heels high and also standards even higher. My hobby is horse riding. And also, this is kind of my meditation. I'm learning empathy from these majestic animals. And I think that empathy is very, very valuable skill to learn when you are building your own company. And the third fact about me, which could be a bit embarrassing for me, I think, I haven't eaten anything from McDonald's or Hesburger except coffee. And actually, the cup of cappuccino was the reason why Fermentful started. I very well remember that day when I went to my closest coffee shop to grab my daily cappuccino. When to grab my daily cappuccino, and barista asked me if I would like to try cappuccino with pea milk. I try different things, and I like, especially related to food. But even for me at that time, pea milk in combination with coffee sounds pretty weird. However, I said yes, and after my first sip of coffee, I was completely amazed by the flavor, amazed by the creaminess and the slightly sweet taste of this milk. And I believe that girls from Sweden already noticed about the brand I'm talking about. And this was kind of light bulb moment for me when I realized that actually nowadays and now we can make something so similar to regular milk from plants. I went directly to the closest grocery store to scan the shelves, and I was a bit surprised that all options available in the market are imported. And we don't have any producer in Latvia who produce plant-based dairy. I found out this as an opportunity, as a niche. I wanted to know more, of course, and I started market research. I found out the major players in this field. I compared price levels. I analyzed marketing approaches and how these brands engage with their customers and what are those reasons customers nowadays switch to plant-based dairy more or less. Also, I approached the only institution based in Latvia, and long story short, the lady from this institution pointed out that this is absolutely too expensive to start to produce something like milk from green buckwheat if I don't have investor behind me. After this conversation, I felt a bit down. I started self-doubting, and I felt that probably she is right. This is completely a waste of time. But you know, the gut feeling is a real thing. And when you listen to this feeling and let it guide you, then you somehow find the solution and that powerful feeling that you have to continue. And at that moment, I started once again, and this time my approach was a bit different. I literally make the list of things what I don't have at the moment. There were many things, but the most important things at that time was teammate with appropriate knowledge in plant-based food technology, and money, of course. Then I started to think about people I know from my circle, let's say so, from my past and etc. And Oksana came into my mind as a person who has knowledge in plant-based recipe development, especially in fermentation field, and she has also established a well-known expert position in healthy lifestyle. You can also find her on Instagram as Gingerbite. Our first meeting was in Paris, at one of the leading food fair, where we both represented different food companies at that time. And now, about more or less 2 years later, I am calling her to ask her to join my team and bring this product in life. And she agreed. And that was another light bulb, let's say so, light bulb moment for me when I realized that all people we meet in our journey, in our life, there is some particular reason. And as Steve Jobs also said, that you can find those connections only later on. So we launched Fermentful in July 2020. While Oksana was experimenting in the kitchen to achieve something similar to regular milk, just from green buckwheat, I was applying and preparing applications for international competitions, accelerators, and incubators to validate our idea and gain some fund. Yeah, and after that, in the finals of one of those international competitions, one member of jury asked us, what exactly will be your competitive advantage in this saturated market? Well, and we had very polished answer on that, related to green buckwheat health benefit properties, and that this is something very unique in the market because green buckwheat milk isn't widely represented in this category. But those were only blah, 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 because the jury member turned to us and asked again, no, but really, do you have a huge marketing budget to compete with those well-established plant-based milk producers existing in the market? No, we didn't have. And then Oksana turned to me and said, we are going to ferment that green buckwheat milk, and we are going to produce kefir, fermented beverage from green buckwheat. And that was the major turning point when we completely changed our strategy and our, let's say, big goal to create fermented milk. We are going to ferment, we are going to produce kefir from green buckwheat. It took us a year to develop technology and recipe for our first product, fermented drink from green buckwheat. And in cooperation with the same scientists and technologists, which pointed out that this is too expensive to start something like that, we have launched in the Latvian market our first product. And it is the first vegan kefir in the European market, and we are very happy for the qualities we have achieved. What else we have done so far? Actually, we have gained more than 60,000 euros for product development, branding, and packaging. We have created a bold brand image, engaging brand. We have set up our small-scale factory, and at the moment we are developing 3 more flavors, which we are going to launch in the beginning of November in the Latvian market. We have started our sales just 3 weeks ago in the Latvian market, and it goes very well. We have found a unique approach to our customers. We educate them about different applications of this product, which means that it's not just a functional drink. It also can serve them as starter culture to ferment other healthy foods. And now we are also working on export development, and we plan that our product will be easily available in Estonia, Lithuania, and Finland in the beginning of next year. And what is the most exciting thing about creating new product and bring it into the market? I would like to say that it's feedback from your customers. And we are super grateful for that because we have created very valuable product, and we love to see how our customers appreciate it and share it through social media. And I think that social media is very, very powerful tool to spread the word about new products if this product is valuable and serves your customer. Yeah, and if there are something I would like you take from this presentation, then the first one would be find a mentor. If you want to start something or consider about your own company, then find a mentor who could be your role model, who is willing to share his or her experience with you, who can guide you, who supports you, because it's very, very important to have this experience from someone you can get through sometimes hard times as well. For the new companies, especially startups, those self-doubts are a common thing. Always remember that all resources you need are within you, and never ever underestimate yourself. And I encourage you to believe yourself, and you can practice that. One of my mentors always remind me that how you think about yourself is how you feel, and how you feel is how you perform. So always think about yourself only best. And the last one is train your mind to focus on the good, because it's very easy to quit the game when something hard happens. I would like to encourage you to find the good in every experience. Even at the very beginning, this experience or situation may see as something super bad. There is some experience, something good you can take with you. Yeah, and thank you for this chance to share her mental story with you. And cheers with green buckwheat kefir for bold, brave and beautiful future female leaders. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Anda. Let's do a round of applause for her. I saw there are a couple of questions also in Worksup, and one of them is, would you do something differently now that you already have the product and the experience and the sales are going on? Would you do something differently if you think back from the beginning of the business?
Well, it's a very good question, and at the same time, it's a very hard question, because I'm a firm believer that your experience is something that leads you where you are at that particular moment. If I have to give just one thing, then I would like to say that I wanted to believe more in myself at the very beginning. Yeah, believe in yourself. It's a very, very, very hard thing to achieve, but you have to practice that, and believe in yourself to when you are at the very beginning of creating something. It's super important.
Really good answer. So girls, as Anda said, believe in yourself right from the beginning. Don't wait for the future. Now you already believe in yourself. So thank you so much, Anda. We will go on to the final inspirational speakers. We're gonna jump into Sweden, where we have Lisa and Clara telling us the story of Red Locker. Again, asking the question why, and I'm hoping you're getting the hint. Ask the question why things are as they are, and could they be different? And Lisa and Clara have done that as well, and they will be telling us the story of the Red Locker. So the stage is yours.
Thank you very much, and hi everyone. It's so great to be here today. Hello, I'm Clara. And I'm Lisa. And we're going to tell you the story about Red Locker. So what do we do then? Red Locker works to make sanitary products, feminine hygiene products available in schools and workplaces. We do this with our dispenser for menstrual care products, which is placed in toilets in schools, workplaces, restaurants, hotels, everywhere. And to tell you a bit about our story and where we came from, I'm just asking, is there? Oh yeah, good. So Red Locker actually started as a school project. So Lisa and I went to different programs in high school, and we met during the last year in a special course that we had added to our programs, which was a course called entrepreneurship. And in this course, the task was to start a mock-up business, a company. And when we got paired up, because we didn't know each other before and we didn't have any friends in our class, so we started talking to each other and then decided to start our business together. And when we started talking to each other, we both had experienced a problem or a need in school many times as a woman, which was when you're in school and you have your menstruation and you don't have any products like a tampon or a pad, and what do you do? So we wanted to find a solution on this. How could our school provide free menstrual care products for the female students? And we came to realize pretty fast that in order to provide free menstrual care products for the female employees or students, you need to have some sort of better solution than just putting it in a basket by the sink. Because if you do that, the problem is that many people take more products than they actually need at the time, which makes it not sustainable economically in the long run. So that is why we developed our dispenser. And the unique thing with our dispenser is that it has a locking function, which means that you can only discharge one tampon every 4 minutes. So when you have discharged a tampon, the dispenser locks for 4 minutes. Could we have the next slide, maybe? Yes. So during our last year of school, we had the opportunity to run this mock-up business. And when we did so, we didn't have our real product that we have today that's behind us. We had our first prototype that we had built at the school together with a few schoolmates that were in the technical engineering program. And when we started to play on social medias like Instagram and started to market our prototype and what we wanted to do, people started reaching out. Media wanted to write about us, write articles, and we didn't have even a produced product that we could sell yet. So we saw that this was a product that was very right on time and very demanded. It was a high demand for the product on the market. So we decided to start our real business after school, you could say. Yes, and this is what our product looks like today. So it's a red machine that holds tampons. If you could skip to the next slide. Yes, so this is how it works. So you press the button and you get a tampon, and after that the machine locks for 4 minutes. And why do we do this then? Why do we do this work? So we have packaged our 4 whys in this slide. Why you should, as a school or a company, offer free menstrual care products to your employees or your students. So first of all, we work together with our customers to realize the UN sustainability goals. And that's first and foremost number 3, which is health and well-being, and the number 5, which is gender equality. And we also help our customers to save time, energy, and labor, and also presence in the school by the students. And this is because when you have your menstruation, or when you're on your period, and you're in school or at the workplace, and you don't have like a tampon or a pad, then what do? you perhaps need to leave the place that you're at during the day to go and find it at a store maybe, or you need to go home because you feel so uncomfortable, or you need to ask a friend or a colleague, which is also uncomfortable sometimes, or you need to find an own creative solution. So that's also something that we help our customers with. And we also work very hard to break the taboo that's still going on, or the stigma around menstruation. And this we do first and foremost on our social media. We have tried to build platforms on our social media that young people can interact with us, they can learn things.
Be inspired.
They can be inspired, exactly, to talk about this subject more. And we also have this clear glass. I don't know if you can see on the picture, but you can see in the slide, at the front of our machine, which makes the people that are viewing the machine actually see the tampons inside. And tampons and pads is not something that is regularly offered in a toilet environment today, if you're at a school or a workplace. And this is something we want to change. We want it to be a natural part of what's offered in the toilet, as well as toilet paper is today. And the last thing that we, the last why is everything put together with Red Locker makes for an increased safety for the people that are in the school or the workplace. When you know that there is menstrual care products available when you need it, you feel more safe. And this is what it can look like. This is a picture from a school, and we get a very high commitment from especially young people here in Sweden. We also have a TikTok account where we have a couple thousand followers and very many views, especially from young people. And we answer questions that they have. They can interact in the comments. We can educate in what our followers wants to learn more about, and they can help each other. We also have a form that you can fill out on our website, which is directed to students, and where they can leave a little tip for us about their school. So they write their name, but it's anonymous, and their email, and then the school that they go to. And then when we have received their tip, we contact their school or the headmaster at the school and ask them if Red Locker is something for them. And then we also have an actual need, or someone has shown that this is needed at the school from a student. And today we have customers all over Sweden, but also in the other Nordic countries, so Denmark, Norway, Finland, and also actually in Estonia.
Yeah.
Yes. And we have about 350 customers, I think. And we started, as I said, 3 years ago, but we have had ongoing sales the last year. And
we are 7 people in our team.
Yes.
So Clara is the co-founder and CIO, and I am the marketing and sell expert.
Yeah.
And we all do a little bit different things today, but also kind of similar things. We all are, for example, doing the sales work and reaching out to our customers, and also went for customer visits in other countries and things like that.
Yeah. And especially now, when here in Sweden in September, when the restrictions disappeared, people started coming back to schools and workplaces, which has also really increased our demand, and people are very interested in implementing Red Locker at their workplaces or businesses. And something that was also a big part of our of this year was that we participated in the Swedish version of Shark Tank, or Dragon's Den, which is, for those of you who don't know, is a program where there's 5 dragons, which are top investors in Sweden. They are like the jury, and then startups like ourselves, we come and we pitch our idea looking for investment. And we did this. We actually recorded the program in February this year, and it was broadcasted in August. And we were actually the only startup in this year's show that got the interest and investment from all the sharks or dragons, which was very funny, very fun. And after this, we have gotten very much spread on social media and regular traditional media as well, which has lifted our company very much. And we also have a few other investors in previous to Shark Tank. And yeah, today we're expanding. We're in a very fast-growing scale-up. Yeah, I think that's it actually.
All right, thank you so much. Let's do a round of applause for you. I'm seeing there's a question about your product development, and the question is that got a lot of upvotes as well, is that if you're thinking of adding also pads into your locker, because not everybody is using tampons.
Yes, that's a very good question, and also a question that we get frequently asked quite a lot. And this is because the tampon and pad is as frequently used, especially in here in Sweden. That's the case, at least. And yes, we are working on it. The pad is like a bit harder to fit in a machine like ours, but we have had some time now since we launched this first product to find a solution so that we can also offer pads. So during next year, we will launch a product that has both tampons and pads.
All right, and then there's another question about how did you even finance it in the beginning to make the first red locker?
That's also a good question. So, like our first prototype, we built at our school with the help of students. And one thing that we learned during our year as a mock-up business in school, and also something that we still take with us today, is that you need to find creative solutions when you have minimal resources. And me and Lisa didn't have any money. We had like a couple of thousand crowns for a starting capital in our business, which we got from the school. So we needed to find solutions to what we wanted to do in a creative way. And that means that you need to find people that believe in your idea and wants to do it for free maybe, or wants to help you because they believe in what you're going to do and they believe in the success of the business. So when we started looking for manufacturers for the real product, we actually found a Swedish company that really believed in our idea and saw the potential in the business, and they wanted to invest, you could say, in making the first prototype before we had any money or capital in our business.
All right, and what about now? How are you producing your lockers now?
We're today still using our same manufacturers. We're producing all our dispensers here in Sweden with the external manufacturer. But they have together with us developed the product.
All right, I was very happy to hear that you already have expanded also to Estonia, but do you have any other expansion plans in mind, other countries listed up to go next?
Yeah, of course. So our plan has all along been that we want to create a strong home market. So we wanted the market here in Sweden to be strong when we actually expand and focus on other countries. The reason to why we have already sold to companies in other countries outside of Sweden is because that's our international customers. So it's Swedish businesses that has field offices or other factories and stuff in other countries. So that has been our tactic, to first start with Sweden and then grow with our international customers. And then after that, when we have, kind of got a feeling about different markets in different countries, we could after that like start building strategies for expanding in those countries.
All right, and I want to also ask if anybody here in Tartu has a question to ask, something in mind. Oh, so where in Estonia you have the Red Locker? I understand it's a company then who has bought it in Estonia, not a school.
Yes. So our first company in Estonia was actually just a couple of weeks ago, and the company is called Ragn-Sells. It's a recycling company. I don't know if you've heard of it, but it's pretty big here in Sweden, and they also have a few sites in Estonia.
Main players with waste management is on here as well. So Ragn-Sells has it, not a school, yeah, unfortunately. But we have here, I mean, like. Also, let's not be afraid to do international cooperation. If you want to bring this to your school, then we can make contacts. And yeah, we have a lot of, you know, in Latvia, Estonia, people here. So, like literally, all the participants, if you are thinking and being like, we should have it in our school, then it just starts with asking somebody in your school, hey, can we have that? Or what should happen for us to have it? And you can, you know, make lives of other female students also a bit better. All right. Yeah. So thank you so much. It was really inspiring, and I really loved that you also started like a school project, and you didn't know each other in the beginning. And we're gonna also, you know, put together teams where people don't know each other in the beginning. So all of you.
And that's a good thing. That's a good thing. It can only be to your advantage.
Exactly, and all of you literally could be the next success story if you put a little bit of thinking and time into your ideas. So thank you so much, Lisa and Clara.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let's do another round of applause. And here in the studio, we are finishing up. I see that all this, there's like, I don't know what's going on with the slides, but we are finishing up here in the studio for now. Thank you for joining us. All the participants, don't go anywhere, just to go get something to drink, get some rest, walk around in your home, or if you're in the venue, walk around here, talk to other participants, and we will see you on Zoom at 3:30, so in 30 minutes. You can find the link in Worksup. So thank you so much, and see you soon. You can applause. Woo!